Welcome to the Shakaama Live Show with your host, Shakaama. So, you all know the website Snopes? Um, they're a leftist website that supposedly does fact checking. Well, I've caught them promoting something that is completely not factual. So, the question that they said that they were answering was, did a woman confess that she was paid to lie about Bill Cosby? And they said false. Well, that's kind of strange. They went on to say there is a rumor floating around that a woman confessed that she was paid to lie about Bill Cosby. Why did they say it was incorrect, that it was false? Well, they said it was incorrect because they said the woman didn't want to give her identity and wait. I believe false means false. False means it did not happen. False does not mean it happened, but we don't believe the woman. That's not what false means. False means it did not happen at all. Kind of like all of the accusers in 30 years making allegations against Dr. Cosby. Now, why do I say that? Because nearly 100% of the women went to, you ready for this? The National Enquirer, the Sun, what are the other news magazines? And they were trying to promote that story so that they could get their payday. They were trying to not only get their payday from Dr. Cosby, they were trying to get their payday from the news organizations themselves. Because if you have a good story, the news organization will in fact pay you for your story. So, when you read the story, oh, the maid of such and such, now you would wonder, why would the maid who was hired by these movie stars actually confess to this? Normally, it's a maid who was, fired after a day, something like that. It just did not work out and they were fired. So they have nothing to lose. And they probably don't really have a job because whatever got them fired in the first day probably means that they are not of any sort of quality to be a maid. Everybody wants to talk about, maids are low lives or whatever. Being maid has qualifications too, right? So these women went to the National Enquirer in all of these rags and tried to ship. What is it called? Run the stories. What do they call it? Shop the stories. That means that they give them to the rags, and the rags pay them for the story, and so then they go home happy and they go and buy various sundry pharmaceutical items to go and have a good time. Well, it's on record that these women actually went and did this. Now, it's also on record the full confession of this woman. I have it right here. It's going to appear somewhere here. I have the full story. And it did in fact happen. And the woman not only gave her her complete confession, but she also named names. It's in wherever it popped up. She also named names. It's the number 3 on my channel. So if even if it doesn't pop up, just go to my channel, click on my name, go to my channel, and see the number 3 talking about Bill Cosby. So Snopes said it was false. Well, Snopes, unfortunately, for somebody who actually does do journalism, it's not false. It's completely factual, and I would like for you to issue a retraction, because I believe that's what you call not telling the truth yourself. So I'm fact checking you, the fact checker. Now, this appears in the #1 position on Google. For you, those of you who don't know anything about the internet, when you have a search engine and you have certain keywords and you try and get your website to the #1 position on that keyword, guess what happens? You win the lottery. You get to dance in the street and drink champagne. Why? Because you have secured the #1 position. That means everybody who's looking for whatever, and you appear #1, you get all the traffic. That means you can charge. You can even charge whatever you want on advertisements on your website. You can do all sorts of stuff. I mean, it's just you've won the lottery. So for this, Snopes appears not only #1 in a quote-unquote video that Google has allocated specifically for this, but they also, under those pictures, because it has a picture attached to it, right under those pictures is the actual website also. So that's #2. So they appeared in #1 and #2. I think that's cheating, but so Google is trying to promote, right? No, that's how it works. Google is trying to promote Snopes saying that there was no woman who confessed to being paid to lie about Bill Cosby. Google did that. Don't kill the messenger. Now, let me address something that you all keep stumbling over. When I said that 0 evidence was presented in the case in the retrial, remember it was mistried, right? And every lawyer in the entire land said, oh, they're not going to win on a retrial because you don't win on retrials. Retrials are for crazy people. I mean, if they say that they were hopelessly deadlocked, that means that Bill Cosby won the day, and you go you pat him on the back and say, well, we tried to get you, but we didn't work, right? So all the lawyers said they're not going to win on retrial. And they presented no evidence on the retrial, right? What am I saying versus what are you all saying? You all are saying, oh, but there was word of mouth evidence. That's not evidence. I'm talking about as a matter of fact. Now, I know most of you all who speak English in the United States aren't actually educated as to what the hell a matter of fact actually means. As a matter of fact means that you're actually taking a look at the facts. So when I say no evidence was presented, we're talking about a trial, right? A trial court. This is the lowest level of the court. This is the first tier of the court. They try all of the facts. All right? Everybody on board with me now? So when I say as a matter of fact, there was no evidence presented, that means that the quote-unquote testimonial evidence was in fact a lie. And lawyers went into great detail talking about that it is the obligation of the district attorney to not present facts or confessions or anything on trial that he knows to be a lie. He can be disbarred. That lawyer should be disbarred. He should go to jail. End of story. They knew she was lying. That's as a matter of fact. You cannot present a lie. Lawyer after lawyer after lawyer after lawyer after lawyer after lawyer that I spoke with, that I read about, that they interviewed, all said that district attorney shouldn't be doing this at all. In fact, the case shouldn't even come to court at all. Why? Because we all know that she was lying. And he, under being a member of the bar and a member of the court, is not supposed to present a lie. He presented a lie. That is a matter of fact. So there we have it. You all want to equivocate and think that I don't know what I'm talking about. What kind of law school student are you? You don't know what you're talking about. She was lying. I know what I'm talking about. I wasn't born yesterday. Do you get it now? And it was a kangaroo court. They're going to appeal and appeal and appeal because they have tons, almost a dozen different things that they can appeal on. Normally, when you appeal, maybe 2 or 3 things, or maybe they appeal something during the trial, and it's supposed to be run up the chain. This is why trials take years sometimes. They run it up the chain and says, "Can he say that?" And the appeal court goes, "Yes, no." Then it goes back down to the court, and it says, "Well, the appeals court said this," and then they take it from there. Nope. When they tried to appeal, this judge blocked them. So now we talk about the judge. What's going on with the judge? Well, the judge should have recused himself too. What? He has a complete, total conflict of interest. Oh my God. You don't mean that somebody who was actually an interested party in the actual proceedings against Bill Cosby did something illegal and thereby, or at the very least, not lending to his credibility and reputation. So it puts him in danger of being disbarred also on allegations of misconduct, allegations of impropriety, and should have recused himself from the case, but in fact went ahead with it. And not only that, but now we find out that the Cosby team wasn't allowed to present any of their defense, anything. To the point where, if you're a lawyer and sitting in the audience watching me, some of you might disagree with this. They weren't even allowed to put Cosby on the stand in his own defense. We're not allowed. I believe the Constitution has a thing or two to say about that. We're not even going to go into the laws and bylaws and what have you. Right? The Constitution itself says, yeah, you will have your day in court. And you're supposed to be able to cross-examine the witnesses. Which also means that you can present a witness that completely contradicts the prosecutor's case, which they were not allowed to do. Please, it was a kangaroo court. Thank you all for watching. I'm not going to go on. Thank you. Bye-bye.